I got every fourth word then, Alicia, but I think you asked about Darcy, right, Cameron?
Yeah.
Yes, well, Darcy will make his debut for us on Thursday night, and the decision's made a lot on Darcy's form over the last couple of weeks in our match practice, but the opportunity's come about because Mason has missed our last two hit-outs. Coxie's disappointed because he's done a power of work over the time away from the club and came back as fit as anyone. Had some bone bruising in that knee and was actually crook last Sunday, so really hasn't been able to get a lot of work in the last week and a half. He'll play tomorrow night in our scrimmage against Richmond to continue to tip into that match practice, which we clearly value as part of our preparation into Thursday and the early stages of our return to play. He still needs to tick those boxes. So it provides the opportunity for Darcy, who has come to us and been enormous, in the ruck a lot against Broads, but has challenged our key forwards as well. His aerial strength has been a real focus, and we love the way that he's gone about it. The boys are pumped to see him get his chance.
Nathan, Drew from Fox.
Yeah, mate.
With Darcy, is he going to be a really strong competitor in the ruck, or is he stronger in the forward 50?
No, Darcy's major attribute is his aerial strength. His ruck work is definitely is something that's clear to see. And as I said, coming along into our program and seeing Brodie and Darcy go head to head in the ruck has really lifted Brodie's standards. He's one of our best trainers already, Broads, but Darcy's come and really challenged him in that regard. But Darcy, we've been sure to give him as much opportunity in a key forward position as we can, because that's probably where his opportunities were going to lie. He is very strong in the air, and he had a really strong performance against Richmond and Wangaratta. So he's played against this mob and performed pretty well. He trained really well again today and has earned his opportunity. It's always a great moment to see a young man break in and play his first game of AFL footy.
Nathan, it's Catherine from ABC.
Yeah, Catherine.
What are your thoughts on crowds? It might be the case that other states get crowds back first. Are you okay with that? With the other states kind of getting crowds back, or do you think it's an unfair advantage?
No, I'm not going to be throwing the toys out of the cot about crowds in other states and potentially not in ours. I mean, we're given the privilege of continuing, our work and our profession off the back of a social licence. There's a price to pay for us in our personal lives. We're basically in lockdown outside of the football clubs. But we understand that we've worked with governments to find these opportunities, and different government or different state governments have different ideas on how they're going to open their society up, which includes crowds for us. I don't know if you had 1,000 people at the MCG. I don't know if it would feel any different to having zero. But obviously, we're going to take these tentative steps to return to a new normal as soon as we can. But for now, our entire focus will be sort of inside the white line and trying to represent our army as well as we possibly can through our actions and deeds on field, and looking forward to the time when we can actually share the event and experience with them in the near future.
Nathan, one of the other issues that I guess on the topic of state governments is hubs. We're back to talking about hubs again and where they might sit and where the Melbourne teams might have to I think the phrase was pull their weight at some point and maybe hit the road. Would you be willing to hub in potentially Western Australia?
Yeah, look, I think we understand that there's going to be some sacrifices that have to be made, and it's not so much a sacrifice; it's an investment in this season. It's an investment in the game itself. We're under no illusions. The reason why the AFL have worked so hard to get this season up and about is we'd prefer to be working than not. Two is we're trying to supply some entertainment and some normality back to our constituents and through society. The third one is we're trying to underpin the present and future economic status of the game. So you need money coming in, you need revenue coming in to fund some of the programs that the AFL have put in place, let alone the football clubs. So anything that we can do to get it up and going, I think we are up to do, and we've got to stay adaptable and agile to be able to do that. And as a football club, we're open-minded into how we share that load across the 18 clubs, and if it means that we travel into a hub and play some games in WA or in Queensland, or even South Australia, depending on what the back end of the season looks like, we'd be comfortable to do that. We feel like we've been a good travelling side. We'd find the advantages in it and the opportunities in it, no doubt. Thanks, Don.
Just watching this morning at training, Jaden Stevenson sort of left with the other blokes who were heading to that scratch match tomorrow. Has he been overlooked again after missing out in round one?
Yeah, no, Jaden will play tomorrow night and continue to stake his claims. He won't be. He's in our squad of 26, but he'll get a little bit more match practice under his belt on Wednesday night rather than Thursday.
Nathan, just a follow up on that one. What do you need to see from him tomorrow night in that scratch match for him to start pressing for selection?
Yeah, no, I think we've got. Most clubs would have a pretty good injury profile at the moment, given we haven't played a game for 10 weeks. But we've got quite a few players that would see themselves as best 22 players that are outside the best 22 at the moment. We've always had a squad mentality. Mason himself would feel like he could play, but we feel like there's someone that's better prepared right now to go and play that role. Steve-O's forward in his preparation. He's been pretty good, but we didn't think that anyone deserved to come out of the side from the round one as long or as far back as it was. Adam Treloar's still working his way back from that calf injury. We got a number of boys that are playing really good football that won't be in the 22 on Thursday night. So that competition for spots is important. Rupert Wills is probably another one who's had a standout 3-week block, and we're stiff to miss in round one. We favoured Tyler Brown to play that role, and we've gone with Tyler again. So competition for spots is good for us, and we know that all of these players will be called upon at various times throughout the year. We don't see ourselves as just a senior team. We see ourselves as a senior squad, and everyone's working to contribute when it's their turn up. It's fairly prescient of you, Daniel, to be able to and astute to be able to pick that up. It's probably more than likely, yeah. Unless something goes amiss between now and Thursday.
Will you hold many blokes over from the game, or have anyone sort of not do much tomorrow night in case? Yeah,
it's a fine line. I mean, we've had discussions around how important this match practice is, and the potential of even someone who gets a high temperature on the night. But apparently all you need to do is chuck them in an ice in a cool room for 5 minutes. But we'll have most of our players exposed to match practice over the next sort of 36 hours, whether it's on Wednesday or Thursday night. Obviously a game to win on Thursday. We'll have some guys on light duties on Wednesday that can carry over for us on Thursday.
And with Mason Cox, do you want to get a full match into him, or do you think it's better to ease him into this? Like, how much of an issue is that there at the moment?
No, he trained in our match scrimmage today, and was right to go for that. As I said, Coxie wanted to put his hand up. He wanted to play. But we made the call based on not being optimal preparation over the last 2 weeks, and you've got to take that on the chin at times as an individual. But no, he'll play the full game, and we want him to continue his prep and conditioning back to full match fitness.
Nathan, we've been able to see you guys do. We've been able to see you guys do a lot of match sim, obviously being the holding setup for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Do you feel that you're really hardened and ready for Thursday night?
Yeah, well, we're a side that ramps up our contest work and our full ground work pretty quickly at the best of times. Coming out of pre-seasons and into our pre-Christmas periods and coming out of our Christmas breaks, we anecdotally from players and coaches that have come from other clubs that we throw our players into it pretty quickly. So our boys have been used to ramping up their loads relatively soon after absences from the footy club or from full training. So we think that stands us in really good stead. We were able to dial it up pretty quickly on return. That week of level B was really opportune for us. It gave us a chance to get some serious load in from a conditioning perspective without the contact, and then the first opportunity we had, we went straight into a practice match. So we think that our prep's been pretty good. The proof's in the taste of the pudding, though, and that we'll. I suppose if we win a few games, everyone will think we got it right. The sides that don't get the results, there'll be question marks on whether they did it well, and might not have anything to do with it at all. But we understand that we still need to execute on game days and game nights, and that's our challenge because we believe that our preparation's been pretty good.
Nathan, just keen to get your thoughts quickly on one player in particular. I think it might have been Kane Corns a couple of weeks ago described Brayden Maynard as the most underrated player in the AFL. How vital is he to your back six at the moment?
Yeah, Bruzzy's a beauty, and I'm thankful for Kane for pointing that out. If he is, it's probably he and Jack Crisper, the two that are fighting for it, I would have thought. But together, they're a strong part of a defence that we are really proud of. We really rate their capacity to work for each other and with each other. Bruz has continued to improve himself and his game through diligence and work rate. He's really passionate about his role for the team and the work that he will do for his teammates. He never wants to let anyone down, so he wears that as a badge of honour, and you can see that in his desperation when he plays. He's a legitimately tough player, very skillful, and as I said, he's really still improving. He's an emerging leader for us, and he's starting to bring his personal strengths to the table in his leadership as well. He's don't have any favourites, but I do love him.
And Nathan, just saw you having a long chat with Chris Mayne this morning. I know he's been in he missed a couple or a session or two with that back injury, and he sort of chatted to the trainers. Any doubt or any concern for him after training this morning?
No, mate, he was good. We're actually talking about the biomechanics exam that he's got to do for uni tomorrow. So I was picking up on a little bit of that, and he's a very detailed man, Maney. He knows exactly where the X's and O's go, and sees it as well as anyone. He's been a great asset for us, and whether he's on the wing or in a defensive role, he's been able to to contribute really well. He's right to go, Mitch. So there's no concerns there.
Nathan, what about the suggestion, I think it was yesterday from Matt Rendell, that Jordan De Goey, that he's the type of player that may only ever reach 80 to 85% of his full potential. I think it was suggested that things like his personality play into it, all that sort of stuff. What did you make of that comment? And is there a balance with Jordan and I guess having to take that sort of stuff into account?
I hope Bundy's getting well paid for his inside info, but he's obviously, he knows our players as well as any, being influential in our recruiting department and bringing a lot of great talent in for us over a number of years. I understand what he's saying about Geordie, and I suppose that really is a reality for every player that comes into the environment. do you get the best out of yourself, and can you get the best out of yourself? I mean, part of it is environment, part of it is the drive of the individual, and I think that's where Bundy was going to a little bit with with his comments about Geordie, but I see it in a real positive aspect as well, because when he made the connection with the personality of a Swanee, or the attitude of a Swanee, Dane was one of the best big game players going around, because he never beat himself. He was always relaxed and as focused and calm as he was for a round 5 game going into a grand final, and that's a fair trait to have. And when you can sort of separate all the paraphernalia from what needs to happen in a game of football, and you just love playing footy, well, that's a pretty good problem to have, and I think Geordie has that problem.
Nathan, I'm sure I can predict what the answer will be, but just if you're happy to play a grand final on Sunday of Cup weekend, like your president kind of muted and morning.
Should I answer that one to the camera, or to just say quick, yeah, I'll play it whenever? Do you want that one to camera, Alicia?
That would be one.
Okay. Look, there's a lot of talk about a lot of things in season 2020 at the moment. We don't even know what round 6 looks like, but we're still talking about a grand final, and whether it's going to be day or night, or whether potentially it could be on a Sunday now. I'll let the bigger minds and the greater intellects deal with that and try to put it all together down the track. I can't think too far ahead, left foot in front of the right and vice versa, but we've got a game on Thursday. Round 2 is my focus, and if we're fortunate to qualify, I'll play the grand final anywhere, anytime, against anyone.